Today's locomotive profile I'm going to be doing is, before I start, there's going to be some mispronunciation of words that I can't pronounce the words right. So, anyways, on to the video. The X2000, officially designated X2, is an electric high-speed tilting train operated by the SJ in Swindon. It primarily serves major routes, including Stockholm, Gothenburg, and Stockholm, Malmö. Again, there are some words that I can't pronounce, so moving on. They remained in service in 1990 until today. The manufacturer ABB, Abtris, and Kalmar Verkstad. They were constructed between 1989 to 1998. They entered service around September 4th, 1990, and to the present. They were refurbished between 2003, 2007, and 2019. 44 of them are built. And the X2 project began in 1969 as a collaboration between Kalmar Verkstad and Swedish State Railways, the SJ, and the ASEA in 1986. SJ placed in order for 20 sets of new type of train. The ASEA was responsible for manufacturing the electric components, while the Kalmar Verkstad was responsible for the mechanical design and manufacturing. Ultimately, a total of 44 train sets were built. The trains designed and manufactured in Kalmar, Sweden, were launched in 1990 as a first-class only train, with a meal included in the ticket price and free use of the train fax machine. From 1995, second class was introduced. The fleet has undergone various refurbishments over the time, most recently ongoing in 2020. The X2 was developed to address the challenges posed by the Sweden Railways network, which features numerous sharp curves, like almost all countries. Due to the country's geography, at the same time, Sweden's low population density made the construction of duplicating high-speed rail lines impractical before 1990. To overcome these constraints, the X2 was designed as a tilting train, allowing to maintain theoretically 15-degree higher speed while navigating curves. Tilting trains can comfortably travel through curves up to 15 degrees faster speed than conventional non-tilting trains, without the need of significant infrastructural infrastructure changes. The X2 project began in 1969 as a collaboration between Kalmar Victids and the ASEA. Testing started in the 1970s. In the late 1960s, an X1 multiple unit was modified with the tilting car body on new ASEA bogies with pneumatic cylinders. Later in the X5, train was adapted for high-speed tests, designated X15, featuring hydraulic tilt cylinders. X15 data informed the X2 development and the X2 prototype car. The X15-4 was tested in the same train set. In August 1986, the SJ ordered the first X2 train sets from Kalmar Verkstads and ASEA. Manufacturing introduced new welding and structural techniques, producing a rigid, collision-absorbing body with a reduced coordination and maintenance needs. The X2 influenced later trains, including the C20 and the Bombardier Regina X31, the NSB Class 71 in Norway, and the Bombardier Buva series. The X2 entered commercial service on September 4th, 1990 between Stockholm and Gothenburg. Production ended in March to April 1998. The X2's tractive unit is heavy locomotive with 4 axles, an axle load of 18.5 tons, and a maximum continuous power of 3,260 kilowatts. And for the RC locomotive, 600 kilowatts. The official designation of the X2000 is X2. The name started as X2000, a marketing concept for the service introduced when trains entered service in 1990, and has since been used by the SJ to refer to the train type itself. The trains were also used in Lynx, a joint venture with NSB without the X2000 name. For its top speed, it has been designated a top speed of 210 kilometers per hour, or 130 miles per hour. It reached 276 kilometers per hour, 171 miles per hour, during trial run with double power car units in 1993. The maximum speed allowed regular traffic is 200 kilometers per hour, 125 miles per hour, for safety reasons. The signaling system are not built for higher speeds, and it shares the tracks with regular trains. Also, most of the lines it uses were built in the mid to late 19th century. The 19th century railways, Stockholm, Gothenburg, Milo, are relatively straight. since they were planned for shortest way without tracking immediate cities into account. And the landscape is relatively flat. Other 19th century railways are generally curvier. In comparison to other high speed trains, the X2 is not practically fast, but compared to regular train service, it cuts journey time by about 10 to 15%, enough to make it comparatively with airlines on many routes. It typically averages about 150 kilometers per hour, 95 miles per hour, the fastest part of the a distance of 180 kilometers per hour, 110 miles per hour. That is covered in 1 hour and 2 minutes, resulting in an average speed of 174.2 kilometers per hour or 108 miles per hour. SJ considered configuring the train set with 6 trailing cars and creating the set of 12 trailer cars using the second locomotive. The train set can stop in 1.1 kilometers, 0.68 miles from the top speed of 200 kilometers per hour, 125 miles per hour. For their former line in service in 2000, in the year 2000 and 2004, 7 trains were operated by the links on the Trans-European route at Oslo Gothenburg and Oslo Stockholm. Links was joint ventured between the SJ and its Eurowang counterpart, NSB. It was round up when SJ wanted to move the trains to profitable lines in Sweden. Low fares, low fares airlines also played a part in the passengers from the comparably slow links service. The main ones taking worth all the excuse of 3 hours. Briefly in 2010 and 2011, X2000 trains ran once daily between Stockholm and Odense. In 2012 and 2013, when the SJ received its X55 trains, X2000 service were suspended on number of routes and reduced on others. And for the current service, Stockholm Gothenburg and Stockholm Osland and Stockholm Malå and Gothenburg Malå. In 2008, the SJ ordered 20 X55 locomotive trains with 4 coaches to replace the X2000 on lines with lower demand and where its performance cannot be fully utilized. When these trains were delivered in 2012 and 2013, the X2000 trains could be concentred to fewer lines with bigger demands, such as Stockholm Malå and Stockholm Gothenburg, using double-length X2000 between Stockholm and Gothenburg during rush hours and weekends. The train has had a major effect on the SJ and the country's railway. More passengers, together with lower operating costs associated with operating trains faster and more efficiently, helped SJ become profitable. Manufacturers of the X2000 had tried to sell the train on to countries other than Sweden, but with little success in connections with the sales attempts. The train was tested and demonstrated in some countries like Norway, Finland, Germany, Austria, France, China, Australia, Portugal, and the US were mentioned as candidates. An X2000 toured the United States in 1982 to 1983 on the lease to Amtrak. It was tested by Amtrak from October 1992 until January 1993. It was used in revenue service on the North-East Corridor between New Haven and Washington, D.C. via New York City for about 5 months from February until May and from August until September 1983. From May until July, it was taken on a national tour around 48 continental states for demonstration stops at significant stations. It also toured parts of Canada. In 1995, three X2000 cars were hired by the Australian operator Country Link for elevation purposes, being one driver trailer and a bistro car and one first class car. The train were towed in push pull mode by modified XPT power cars. The XP2000 and the XP2009, after conducting statewide tour of New South Wales in March 1985. They were used on Sydney to Canberra service from April to June 1995. The X2 was also tested in Norway and Germany. There were competitors which had lower price, including the Pambilio and the Ice Tea. Even China leased and later purchased outright an X2000 train, which is named Xingyu. The train served as the Guangzhou the through the train from 1988 to 2007, when it was replaced by the Regina-based CRH-1. The train was initially supposed to have been given the number 2044, but due to the fact that the number 4 sounds similar to the word for death in the Chinese language, it was renumbered as 2088, of which number 8 symbolizes luck in Chinese culture. It was delivered in the Xinjiang province in August 2000 due to the 2008 earthquake. Needed to rebuild the railway networks in the Xinjiang province. Also, the authorities could not carry the maintenance costs of the train. It was therefore returned to the Gyeongshin Railway Company in late December 2008. In 2012, the train was purchased by the SJ and reprinted back to Sweden. The train has some serious damage and deferred maintenance. The cab car has been cosmetically restored and repainted, losing its Chinese livery, and will be displayed at the Sweden Railway Museum when it reopens. The power car is currently used as a testbed for the ongoing refurbishing program, and the 5 immediate trailers were repaired and recentered and re-entered service in 2020. And that's it for this video for the X2000. Like and subscribe, and see you later, guys.